California girl. I grew up on the beach, like always messing around with volleyball on the sand. I grew up with two brothers, and my dad didn't treat me any differently than them. He made me super, super competitive at a young age. When I would play in middle school, they'd actually have to be like, Alexa, like, you need to tone your competitiveness down a little bit. You're scaring the other girls. My mom and dad have been my support system since day one. I think when you have kids, you want them to do everything you did and more. My mom and my dad have been to probably over 100 matches, but my mom has never actually seen me play.
Tara was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa when she was 19. The first doctor that we went to, he basically pulled us into a small room after he did the tests on her, and he said, Mrs. Strange, you have retinitis pigmentosa. It's a genetic disorder. It was passed on by your parents. You're gonna go blind at some point in your life. It's gonna be passed on to your kids, so you may wanna think twice about having kids. At this point, you shouldn't drive anymore, and you should let your employer know, because it's only a matter of time you're gonna be a liability at work. He told us all this in like 60 seconds. When we drove home after we talked to the doctor, I don't think we said one word to each other.
That was a pretty strange ride. You know, me thinking, I don't want him staying with me just because he's feeling sorry for me now that I'm gonna go blind. I don't know what was going through his mind, but that was what was going through my mind.
It took a few days to come to terms and start talking about what our options were, but we were so in love. It wasn't going to affect our relationship as far as whether we stayed together or not. It was just a matter of, okay, what do we do now at this point to be proactive and to move on with our lives?
He said, let's just go travel. And worked enough to save enough money, and we just traveled everywhere. You know, I could see the world as much as I can.
We went to a genetic specialist, and he sat down with us and told us the type of retinitis pigmentosa that you have is recessive, so it's very unlikely that it's going to be passed on to the kids unless Greg is a carrier as well. I had no history of blindness in my family, so he's like, I would have kids and I wouldn't worry about it. That's what we did.
I don't remember growing up with my mom ever being able to see, really. She told me when I was younger that it was sort of like looking through a straw. When you really think about the idea of going blind and losing a sense that you're so dependent on, it's a really scary thought, and seeing how optimistically she looks at the world is just, for me, so inspiring, and it reminds me, if she can do that and look at the world the way she does, like, I can do anything.
We have a wonderful mother-daughter relationship. She's the one that has to guide me. It's usually the moms that are coming there getting stuff ready for their daughters. You're driving them around. In our case, she's the one that drives me around. We always have to hold each other, so there's a certain physical connection we have. I mean, sometimes we walk arm in arm because of that. I remember one time she and I were walking, and she saw the sunset. She was describing it to me with such a passion, and you could tell she wanted me to see it. She was telling me all the colors and how they were interplaying with each other, and I just got this vivid picture of that sunset. It's because she wanted me to see it just like the way she's seeing it.
Alexa is joined on the sand by her parents, Tara and Greg. Ladies and gentlemen, number 24, Alexa Strange.
During a match, I'll look up and see my mom and dad once in a while, and I'll see my dad leaning over, talking into my mom's ear, explaining to her what's going on.
Out of bounds. There we go. There we go. 8-6.
It's really cute, honestly, to watch them do that.
Greg is my commentator. Everybody that touches the ball, I got to know what they're doing, whether it's a pass, set, hit.
Nice shot. There we go. There we go.
Somebody misses a serve or someone blows a shot that they should have made, she wants to know.
Whether it's my daughter's side or the opposite team, then I have a clear picture of what's going on.
Nice shot over the top for the point. There we go. Go, baby.
I think what my dad does for my mom, just like standing by her is amazing, and for me is like a beautiful example of like what love is supposed to be. You stick by the person you say you're gonna be with forever, no matter what, through the thick and the thin.
If the roles were reversed, Tara would be unbelievable, explaining everything that was going on to me. No question about it. She's been my soulmate for 30 years now. We've been married 30 years.
My life is wonderful. People often tell me she's just wonderful to watch. And I can just imagine, just from the sounds she makes and the way she hits the ball, you know, she would be just beautiful and wonderful to watch.